We are now live. We can start the program in next 3 minutes.
Dr. Manoj, you can start the session.
Sure. So good evening, management, staff and students. So we welcome all of you to the meditation session. So our title is Sahaja Yoga Meditation for improved EQ, IQ and SQ, as well as for the stress management. So we heartily welcome all of you to the session. So, madam, can we start? You can go ahead.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Thank you. So, topics covered for this session are the first we will look at what is CQ, IQ, and SQ. So, some of you may be new to these terms, and stress management, how the stress comes in the day-to-day life, and we will again study the human subtle system, and when we will look at how to achieve this spiritual quotient, which can mold up the personality, and we'll also have an experience session on self-realization and a few minutes of meditation. So let us first look at EQ, IQ, and SQ. It's very interesting to discuss today about these topics. So when you look at IQ, which is very commonly used, intelligent quotient, which is actually derived from the rational or logical thinking. So if you look at EQ, emotional quotient, which is derived from the emotions and the patterns which is coming out of our experience and that, all that. And if you look at the SQ, spiritual quotient, it's basically a something which is derived from the experience, plus it is something to do more with the you can say the self knowledge. So if you look at Albert Einstein has told that, okay, when I discovered the theory of relativity, a knowledge has dormanted on my brain from somewhere unknown. So what is that unknown? So the true self knowledge, so that contributes the spiritual quotient. Okay, so that is something which is not born with, or you can say, it is derived, or it can be called as a transforming knowledge, which can be derived during the evolutionary process. That is called as SQ. So the SQ was coined by Dana Dohar and Ian Marshall. And there are a lot of models developed based on SQ. So that is one of the model tell that the human system has got 6 energy centers, or the 6 petals. And you can say 6 petals of a lotus kind of thing. And there is a divine energy, and which can transform the humans to a much more higher living being with a potential. Okay, so that we are going to explore it today through our slides. So if you look at the relevance of SQ in the modern times, so the personalities, many people, we have got social personality, artistic, realistic, and all that. So the personality molded by the SQ, the spiritual quotient, is a very transforming personality. So which is like acquired through the divine knowledge, or the knowledge, self-knowledge. Like if you look at the words of Mahatma Gandhi and all that, they all said that there is a lot of knowledge which is dormant within ourselves, which can be explored, and you can become something much more higher than what you are. So what is that knowledge within us which can create this SQ, which we are going to explore it. So before we get into the the subtle system of the human being and learning about the knowledge of self, so we are also going to talk a little bit about the stress. So how this stress come? I mean, where does this stress come from? So many believe that this stress is created from the outside environment or the external makeup, but it is not true. So if you look at the brain, I have picturized here on the left side of the slide. The brain is like a prism shape. So all this rays, which is like columns of consciousness, which is falling, it gets refracted outside automatically. It never goes inside. So if you ask a person, okay, how much you know about yourself, they will say very little. So most of the time, our attention is refracting outside, and all this external, effect, people call it as a so-called external effect. Okay, the day-to-day environment, physical, mental, emotional pressures, and all that creates a lot of mental, physical, and emotional pressures, which people generally call it as a stress. So the solution, how to remove this stress. Okay, and then the person to person, it varies what level it affects, and some people it can even create the diseases also. So how to remove this stress? So many people say that concentrate on certain objects, or some people say take up some courses. So is it going to really relieve the stress? So let us look at it, how this, the state of mind in a human being. So basically, every time if you look at the brain, so we have a thought coming from the past, and when it diminishes, a new thought coming from the future. So always there is a thought wave continuously moving from a past or future it comes. This is because of the human nature, where we are involved in the nature and all that. So you can see this, there is a thought wave, there is an elevation, and also there is a depression. So there is a small gap between the two thoughts. So we call it as the vilamba, in Sanskrit, and also in English we call it as thoughtless state or the thoughtless awareness. So that is what it can create a balance in a human being, or you can call it as the stress-free state. So this stress-free state can be achieved only by being in present. So most of the time, if you observe your thoughts, whether there's a thought from the past or a thought from the future, always bombarding our mind. So the meditative state generally is in between these thoughts. There is a small space. So staying in that space, that's we call it as a state of present, being in present. So that is the thoughtless state, or you can say meditative state. So again, we will ask how to achieve this. So before we again start to explore the human system. So as a young student, all of us are growing in our educational and I can say ultimately to a successful career and a family person. So a lot of qualities need to be evolved when we grow. So first and foremost is the integrity, which constitute of moral values, honesty, trust, leadership, accountability, communication, collaborative nature, innovative nature, and all that, including courage, learning abilities, good listening skills, respecting others, being humble in a way, being calm, responsible person, empathy for others, forgetting the past, accepting the mistakes, and learning from the mistakes and moving ahead, sharing the success, wealth, giving back to society, enjoying the present state, and being collective, like accommodating the other's point of view, and being a collective and a team. These are all some of the basic qualities which is required when we grow as a student to a successful career life, and then moving ahead. So how can we overcome the stress and also achieve all these good qualities, including the spiritual quotient, which I have mentioned in my presentation? So the key to this, the knowledge is basically it lies within us. So knowing our inner potential, knowing our inner powers, by realizing our own powers, by getting into ourselves. So better understanding of ourselves can bring a lot of harmony. We call it as there is two part for the harmony again. One is the inner half, achieving the inner harmony, and achieving the you can say the balancing with the external environment, or external, and achieving the external harmony. So there is an inbuilt subtle system in every human being, and there along with that there is a divine power which is sleeping in every human being. Why not let us explore it? So I would like to share a few minutes video to showcase how this how our brain is bombarded with thought process, and how can we arrive to a meditative state.
Meditation. What a relaxing experience. But what looks peaceful outside, is it always the same within? The human awareness is like an egg, full of infinite potential. When we meditate, we come to the present, where the light of truth shines upon us. But in practice, this does not happen. Thoughts from the past and future cloud our mind and disconnect us from the present. We try to stop them, but as soon as we stop one thought, another enters. This goes on, and instead of relaxing, We get exhausted. Meditation seems impossible. But what if we could stop our thoughts without putting any effort? Would you like to try this effortless meditation? Then come along and learn Sahaja Yoga Meditation, which begins with the awakening of the power within us called Kundalini, which once awakened, our awareness goes beyond thoughts. We are freed from all the bondages of anger, greed, and fear. In this serene light of truth, our attention starts evolving. We achieve freedom in the true sense. Come and experience the joy of Sahaja Yoga Meditation.
Just now we have seen in the presentation, like the video, how the thoughts bombards, and there is a possibility of getting a state where there are no thoughts. So I will explain you about the the subtle system, the human subtle system, which is key to this self-knowledge. So what you see on the presentation, this is the human subtle system. We call it as the Sukshma Sharira. So this is created when a human is actually in 3.5 month old, like a baby in the mother's womb. Columns of rays of consciousness passes through the brain. Brain is being prism-like. It refracted into 3 channels of energy. The one which is on the left-hand side of the body, we call it as the Ida Nadi. You can see it on the screen in the blue color. And one on the right-hand side of the body, we call it as the Pingala Nadi, which is also called as the sun channel. And the one which is on the center, which is called a central nervous system. So these 3 nadis, and then we have got, and it precipitates through 7 energy centers. We call it as chakras. So in yoga terminology, we call it as chakras, but in medical science, we call it as plexus. So 7 chakras basically governs the human, you can say, body system, which constitute of organs, nervous system, and all that. And there is a divine power which is called as the Kundalini, which resides in the lower part of our vertebral column, which settle down in a 3.5 coiled form in the, you can say the triangular bone. It is marked here. So the chakras, which are the energy centers, which you can see here on the screen, marked from 1 to 7. So I will give you a little more details about the subtle system. The nadi, which is there on the left-hand side of the body, which is shown here in blue color, which ends in the right part of the brain. So this is called as the Ida Nadi, or the moon channel, the left sympathetic nervous system in medical science, which governs the desires, represents our past, and it is more related to the subconscious part of the human system. So this so when a person too much become emotional or thinking about past, so gets an imbalance on the Ida Nadi, which is on the left hand side, and going too much into the left can even create problems, leading even to the psychosomatic diseases. The one which is on the right hand side, you can see, which is marked in yellow color, which is called as the sun channel, or right sympathetic nervous system in medical science. This governs our actions, ego, and it actually settles down on the top of the brain. You can say left part of the brain as superego. That you can see the balloon color marked on the brain, yellow color. So this right side represents our action, about when we think too much about the future, this channel gets more activated. So there is one more channel on the center, which is called as the Sushumna Nadi. We call it as the parasympathetic nervous system, which balances the both systems, both nervous systems. Okay, it is the path of the ascent, and that is, we call it as the center, and that represents the present state. A person who is in balance, neither in the past nor in the future, he will be always in the present. His thoughts stays in the present. And chakras. So if you look at the chakras, which are numbered from 1 to 7, the first one is in the base of the spinal cord. We call it as the Muladhara in yoga, and in medical science, we call it as pelvic plexus, which represents the purity, and aesthetics of a human being, innocence, wisdom, all that. And it also represents the principle of the Mother Earth. And the second one, the Swadhisthana, it is marked in yellow color. So that shows the, it is called as the aortic plexus. It also gives you the creativity, divine knowledge, pure desire, all that. And third one, which is called as the Nabhi chakra in yoga, and which is called as solar plexus, which gives the satisfaction, peace, evolution, generosity, and all that, all the qualities. And the fourth one, which is called as Anahata, very near to your heart, you can see it is marked as 4. So that is Anahata chakra, which is nothing but cardiac flux in medical sciences, and it gives sense of security. And this chakra generates the antibodies into the blood, which creates the, you can say the fearlessness, joy, compassion, all that. And if you look at the fifth one, Vishuddhi. So Vishuddhi means the purity. So this chakra reflects the quality of a person, his communication, his interaction with others. All that is governed by this particular chakra. The teaming. When you work something in collective, this chakra gets activated. So another one on the 6th, you can see, which is on the forehead. We call it as the optic chiasma. So this chakra gives the forgiveness and thoughtless state, and also this particular center gives the leadership qualities. And the one you can see on the top, Sahasrara, the integration of all the chakras and nadis are on the top of the head. So now let us see how this divine power, which is residing inside this sacrum bone, triangular shaped bone base, at the base of our spine, how it gets, awakened, and how it purifies all these chakras and comes to the top of the head. Let us watch this animation. Yeah. So we just now saw the subtle system, how it works, and how this divine energy Kundalini traverses through all these 7 energy centers and comes to the top of the head, and how it creates a peace in a human being. So many may ask, what are the benefits of practicing Sahaja Yoga meditation? So first, to start with, so the discovering the very purpose of why we are here is basically to find the inner peace within ourselves, going to the roots, cure the roots. It's a balance of desire and actions. So the channels of desire and action, the left and right, which can bring a good health, a holistic health. So that is the second purpose. And third is, we look at it, jumping into a newer awareness, knowledge about certain system by experience, which makes our own masters, and which is completely natural. So this entire process of meditation is very, very natural living process. And this Kundalini energy rises spontaneously. So we don't do too much of exercise or any tough practice, which requires very simple sitting. You can feel this. It's very spontaneous and no physical effort is required, and even kids can practice it. And it is simple, easy, and effortless, and it's free of cost. And as we know, all the all the knowledge comes from the master or a guru. So we would like to talk a little bit about the master who founded this Sahaja Yoga meditation. So if you look at her life, she's born, Her Holiness Srimati Nirmala Devi, who is the founder of Sahaja Yoga. She is born on 21st March 1923 at Chhindwara, which is in India. And 1940, she had done medicine from Lahore University, and she had participated in Quit India movement. And her family also went to jail during the freedom movement. And she also lived with Mahatma Gandhi during her young age. And in 1947, she married to Sir C.P. Srivastava, a distinguished diplomat who was also the personal secretary to the Lal Bahadur Shastri. So blessed with 2 daughters. And on 5th May 1970, she opened the Sahasrara, the 7th center, which is on the top of the head. And here on their palms, as well as on the top of the head, coming to a new dimension in the spirituality. And today, she traveled across the world from 1970. And today, Sahaja Yoga is being practiced over 130 countries, and more than 1 million people meditate today. And Sahaja Yoga also received various recognitions. In 2001, Sahaja Yoga has been received Manavaratna Award. 1995, she was nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize, and several national and international awards have been received for the discovery, which is called as Sahaja Yoga. So that is the, yeah. So shall we experience this? Anita madam, so shall we experience this? If all are okay, we can have a few minutes process where we can experience this self-realization, and we can also, yes.
Sure, sir, sure.
So those who are sitting on the chair, you can remove the sandal if you are wearing sandal or shoes. If you are sitting on the Mother Earth, it's very good. So what I suggest, I will just show you the steps on the screen. I will take you through the steps, and then we will all do this by closing our eyes. So I request everybody to be like a open-minded, like a scientist. See what's experiencing on your palms, on the top of the head, or on the fingertips. The first step will be like, you can keep both hands on the lap, both hands open, keep it open on the laps, and put your left hand on the lap and right hand on the heart. So this is the first step. So we are going to take some affirmations. The second step will be, we'll move the right hand to the left part of our abdomen and press it. That is the second step. Third step, again, move the right hand to the lower part of our abdomen, coming back. Fourth step, again on the abdomen. Fifth step will be putting again right hand on the heart. Sixth step will be putting the right hand on the neck. left part of the neck, moving our head little towards the right. Seventh is putting the right hand on the forehead, bending a little bit. Eighth will be putting the right hand on the back of the forehead, looking little up. The last one will be putting the right hand on the top of the head with your inner palm touching the scalp. We call it as the talu bhag. So this is the step. So I request everybody to close the eyes till I say keep your eyes closed. It's a few minutes process. Let us experience this inner energy. So I request everybody to put your mobile on silent mode if possible, or switch it off. Close your eyes. Put your left hand on the lap. Keep it open. Right hand on the heart. So the divine energy which is there in our body is called as the Kundalini. So it's a female energy. So we can also call it as the mother. So we'll ask here, oh mother, I would like to get my experience of self-realization. From the heart, bottom of your heart, let us ask for the self-realization. Now put your right hand on the left part of the abdomen. Press a little bit, and this is the center of the mastery. So we can ask from the heart. Keep your eyes closed. Here ask this question: am I my own master? Am I my own master or guru? Oh mother, am I my own master? Ten times in the heart, it did not really count. You can ask this question: am I my own master? Keep your right hand to the lower part of your abdomen. Here, this is the center of knowledge, pure knowledge. Here you can ask, oh mother, grant me the pure knowledge. Grant me the pure knowledge. Kindly grant me the pure knowledge. Kindly grant me the pure knowledge. Slowly move your right hand on the left part of your abdomen. Press a little bit, and here you say, Mother, by your grace, I am my own master. Mother, by your grace, I am my own master. I am my own master. Slowly move your right hand on the left part, left heart. Here you pray again. I am not this body, nor mind, nor attention. I am the pure spirit. I am the pure spirit. And move your right hand on the left part of your neck. Move your right hand, move your head little towards the right. Keep your eyes closed. Here you pray, I am not guilty at all, 16 times. I am not guilty at all. I am not guilty at all. And last, when I am the spirit, how can I be guilty? Slowly move your right hand on the forehead. Press it from both sides and bend a little bit. And here you pray, if anybody have done any mistakes knowingly or unknowingly, kindly I forgive all of them. Oh mother, if anybody have done any mistakes knowingly or unknowingly, I forgive all of them. So forgive from the heart to everyone. Now put your right hand behind the forehead, bend little bit back. Here you say, kindly forgive me if I have done any mistakes. Kindly forgive me. Slowly move your right hand on the top of the head and rotate it 7 times, clockwise direction. Each time when you rotate with your inner hand, you try to rotate it. Every time when you rotate, pray this: kindly grant me the experience of self-realization. Kindly grant me the experience of self-realization. Kindly grant me the experience of self-realization. Slowly move your right hand little above your head, 4 or 5 inches above. Try to feel it, whether you are feeling any cool or hot vibrations coming from your head. Slowly move your right hand 4 or 5 inches above, slowly up and down, and see whether you can feel cool movements in your palm or on the fingers. Keep your right hand down. Try with your left hand. Try to place the left hand little above your head, 2 or 3 inches above, and try to move little up and down slowly, very slowly, very spontaneous feeling. This is, you can feel the cool breeze coming out of the head. Sometimes it may be slight hot also. You can again try with your right hand on the top of the head. Slightly move up and down and see whether you can feel the spontaneous feeling. And move your, put your both hands towards the sky and ask this: is this the Param Chaitanya which I am feeling on my palms? Oh God, is this the Param Chaitanya which is feeling on my palms? You can put your hands down. So how is the experience? So you may feel cool or slightly hot sometimes for some people when this energy comes out. So you can feel it on your palm, center of the palm, or on any of the fingers, or maybe on the top of the head. So you can unmute and speak. How was your experience?
Sir, they'll be watching on the YouTube. There'll not be much interaction. Yeah, of course, sir, we practiced.
Yeah.
I practiced what you were telling me just now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. We can proceed, sir.
Correct. Yeah. So now what we will do is that we will try to meditate for a few minutes. I will. I request everybody to sit in relaxed mode, and if you are sitting on the Mother Earth, try to keep both hands on the earth, touch the earth. The earth represents the principle of, we can say it's Mother Earth is one of the element, in Panchabhutas. So you can put both hands, touch the earth. If you're sitting on the chair, you can put hand, project it towards the earth. So I will, here you can pray. Oh Mother Earth, kindly absorb all the imbalances within me. the qualities of compassion and forgiveness. Slowly move your hands, place it on the lap, sit straight, close your eyes and put your attention on the top of the head and sit in the silence for a few minutes. Yeah, thank you all. You can open your eyes. So if you have any questions, you can ask us now. So today's session is basically to give introduction about this EQ, IQ, stress management, and how we can achieve the balance within us. And we learned also about the little bit about the subtle system, how this 3 nadis works, and how these 7 chakras supplies the qualities within us. So now, if you have any questions, you can ask us now. So these sessions are actually carried over 6 to 7 weeks. So today's session is only to experience this, to start this journey within. So the further sessions will give you more details on how to meditate daily, how to achieve balance between this Ida and Pingala, how to achieve the balance, the balancing techniques, how to reduce the stress and other, if you have heat in the body, how to, there are some techniques to bring the balance in this nervous system. So those techniques will be explained in the subsequent sessions in the next week and following weeks. So I request, I encourage students to ask questions. You can reach out to Anita madam, and she can maybe present in the session.
Sir, I'm there, but I think some the students have not put anything in my chat box.
Okay.
So I'll just accumulate everything. I can also mail to you, sir.
Okay.
And in the next subsequent sessions, we can just have some interaction. That's what I thought.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So thank you very much. So this is the.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. We'll continue our association. I'll let you know about the next session, because I'll also be speaking.
Yeah. So subsequent sessions, basically what we do is like we will. Yeah.
I'll get back to you.
Sure.
In another 1 or 2 days.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you very much, sir. Sir, on behalf of Ramaya Institute of Technology and as a coordinator for the induction program, I profusely thank you. I sincerely thank you also. And Dr. Krishnaraj also I thank. He's the head of our IT services who has facilitated today's session.
Thank you, sir.
There in the session.
Thank you very much for your time and